This is Riri Mokru, and you're watching Wrestling with Mental Health. Welcome to Wrestling with Mental Health. I'm here with my main man, Chris Paradise of Atlanta Hate Crew.
Yeah, working with Street Beef right now, but the hate crew still lives.
What first got you into professional wrestling?
Oh, probably just the Monday Night Wars were raging. I was 10 years old in 1997, so you couldn't not get into wrestling, right? Everybody was talking about it. It was all the rage. So that was it for me. From '97 to 2001, I don't think I missed a pay per view.
What's the very first wrestling match you remember watching?
The first I must have been pretty into it already, but the first thing I really remember was the first pay per view I got being uh, WrestleMania 14. Austin HBK. It was like, to me, Sean was my guy, even though Austin was hot. Like, you just couldn't go wrong. And to have that and transfer it to Austin in that moment was fantastic.
Who are some of your earliest inspirations growing up as a fan?
As a fan, I mean, it seemed so unattainable to me. But guys like the Headbangers, I was a little punk rock kid, so I see these two punk rockers going on there. I think seeing that, I was like, okay, guys like me could maybe do this. The guys that are a little bit different.
Have you seen their matches before when they were the
The,
sheep herders?
I've gone back and watched some of the sheep herders and the spiders and stuff like that, and I definitely appreciate it. And
Oh, it's so good.
yeah, it's seeing how far they got is crazy. Like the
Yeah.
the Headbangers were they were a team that shouldn't have made it, and to see them win the title at multiple occasions in the WWE is pretty fantastic.
Was there a specific moment where you realized you wanted to become a wrestler?
I was always so music driven. I played music from high school on, and to me, it was music and hockey. And then I started watching a friend of mine, Bill Black, Will White, when I moved back from Atlanta, and I saw him, and he was doing the independent wrestling thing, and I thought, you know what? I'm a little bit too busy with music right now, but maybe this is something I want to get into because traveling around with him, it seemed the very same as music. You bring your gimmicks, you try and sell, you're only working for about 15, 20 minutes, and then it's meeting people and getting to travel a little bit. So it definitely appealed to me, just the similarities between wrestling and music.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Way to bridge the gap.
Yeah, it's definitely, and to bring it full circle, it was like, I had just gotten out of hockey, so I was missing a little bit of physicality from that. I was missing the performance of music. Here's pro wrestling. It's physical, it's performative, it's everything I needed.
Who were your favorite wrestlers when you were a kid?
The Headbangers, Shawn Michaels was my guy. If I turn on WCW, I'd be a little ashamed to admit it now, but who didn't love Buff Bagwell as a kid? Like, he looked great. He had some cool moves. The Blockbuster was sick. I like Buff the Stuff. I hate to admit
Oh man,
it.
I can't.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh man.
We got one behind the camera too. See, they're out there. We're out here.
You got Buff's of stuff.
Buff the Stuff and the Headbangers. There you go.
Who are some of your favorite wrestlers today?
Today, I mean, he just retired, but AJ Styles is obviously like the best, the absolute best. Uh, I really enjoyed Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. That their takeover UK matches were fantastic. Guys like Gunther. So maybe I do have a bit of an affinity for the European style. I think what those guys do is fantastic.
Yeah, I watch a lot of British wrestling and 70s British wrestling where chain grappling and all that mattered.
Yep.
And they taught them in the snake pit in Wigan
Yep.
with Billy Robinson. But just crazy shit. It's
Crazy.
good.
Yeah, you like Pete Dunne and tie you into a pretzel and you wouldn't even know what had happened. And
Exactly.
it's not a lot of guys can do the way he does.
What promotions did you grow up watching the most?
WWF and WWF, WWE, WCW. I was kind of out by the time TNA started taking off. I was on a bit of a wrestling hiatus at that point, but it was mostly WCW, WWF. That was pretty much my introduction. That's where I jumped in.
Did anyone in your life introduce you to wrestling, or did you discover it on your own?
I gotta give credit to my guy Will White, Bill Black. Uh, he was 3 years older than me, the same age as my older sister. So when wrestling would come to Toronto, my dad wasn't going to take me. Uh, he does not care for wrestling, which is fine. But he Will would take the role of big brother, and off to the Skydome we'd go to watch house shows because they were big enough to be in there back then. Or I remember going to meet the New Age Outlaws with Will at a McDonald's one time, or like a Canadian Tire. I remember being there for the day with him, 5 hours in line to meet them. So I yeah, I got a lot of time for Will, and he took care of me as a kid and brought me to a lot of these wrestling shows.
That's cool. What was the first live wrestling show you attended?
I think the first one I can really remember is that one at Skydome, and it was me and Will went down, and it was the one I believe Edge won the IC title on a house show, and it might have even been a cage match. And then I think it got reversed the next night because obviously the house show wasn't televised. But I remember being like, we were here for a title change at a house show. It blew my mind. And that was the first one I really remember, is that house show at Skydome.
What was it like growing up in Atlanta as a wrestling fan?
So when I moved to Atlanta, I headed down to Atlanta in around 2001, which would have been right after WCW tanked. So a lot of bitter wrestling fans down there that weren't fans of WWE. So I wish I would have found more fans, but they were kind of hard to come by at the time, which is crazy because it seems like Cody Rhodes was at a high school across from me. He went to my rival high school. So there was wrestling schools around. I just didn't know about it.
Cody Rhodes went to your rival high school?
I believe he went to Lassiter High School. I went to Pope High School. Our hockey team had to combine the two because in the States there's not enough players, especially down south. So we played Pope and Lassiter were a team. So some of my guys on my hockey team were, probably buddies with Cody Rhodes.
That's pretty cool.
But I had no idea. And to be honest, from 2000, let's say 2002 to 2008, when I was down in Atlanta focusing on music, I was kind of away from the wrestling scene until I moved back to Toronto.
But you still know who Dusty Rhodes was, yeah?
Oh, definitely, I would have known, but I didn't. I knew that because Cody was on the wrestling team, and my like a few of my friends were on the wrestling teams. Like I knew they would wrestle him sometimes, but like I didn't. It just didn't really. It never really clicked to me. Like, oh, I should go meet Dusty Rhodes, but I probably should have.
Yeah. That's
Missed
cool.
opportunity, probably.
You
But what
only
can you
live
do?
once?
Yeah,
That's still pretty cool.
yeah.
What made you finally decide to step into a wrestling school?
Again, I was up at Will's place for a show he was putting on it, and I met Roy and Clash at at that event, and they were showing a few guys a few holds, and I was there, and Will had even mentioned like, hey, maybe someone will work you at this thing. Like I know you haven't trained or anything, but we got enough guys here that could get you through a match if we wanted to. That ended up not happening, but what did end up happening was I got in there with Roy and Clash a few times, and they showed me just a few basics, and I was like, and they mentioned they might be opening a school in Oshawa, so I said, if you do, let me know, and I'll see you there.
Where are you currently training?
New Beginnings is where I will be training. It's Roy has always been good to me. There is controversy in the wrestling world around wherever you train, but I think I wish there was less of it. I think the people there have always been good to me. Roy specifically has always treated me very fairly, and that's all you can ask for out of a trainer.
Who are some of your coaches or mentors helping you guide the way right now?
I mean, Roy will always be there for me. I have a great tag team partner and a guy like Beef who's got some training with Lance Storm, so I try and pick his brain as much as I can. Again, I'll reach out to Will if I ever run into a real big problem or I think I need some outside advice. Um, and just everybody I train with, and everybody I've had matches with, guys like Ron T. Legend, guys like I mentioned I got to be in the ring with KPK and Dynasty recently, and I wouldn't call them mentors, but anytime you get to be in the ring with vets like that and
Yeah, that's
just hear
huge.
the way that things go, it's like okay, you learn from everybody, and you always should, even if it's whether it's learning something not to do, something to do, how to behave. There's always little things you can pick up from different people. So I think just keeping your eyes open. It's not necessarily one person; it's taking in the experience.
Who would you say had the biggest influence on you developmentally?
I mean, training wise, Roy, but again, I got to give it to Will. He's been my guy. He was the one who brought me into this world more than anything.
What was your very first day inside the ring like?
Nerve wracking. I remember being blown away. I'm sure it's been said 100 times that the ropes hurt like hell. Uh, but man, I was just excited. I was just ready to be in there. It didn't matter. I could have bumped a million times that first day away. I would have paid for it the next day, but the adrenaline was going. I was happy to be in there day one.
What's been the hardest part of the process so far?
I honestly think the hardest part of it is all the drama that goes on. And I know if there are wrestlers from Ontario watching this, I just wish we would do a bit better to look out for each other and stay away from some of the tribal stuff. But I know it's all part of it.
What's been the most rewarding part?
Getting the approval from some of the guys, getting out of a match with someone who's had a few more years with you, and they come back and they tell you you've done a good job. They tell you, that there's someone that you consider safe, and that is the biggest compliment you can get. And to have a few vets, you know, give me a pat on the back every now and then is it's very rewarding.
What's something about learning to wrestle that surprised you when you got started?
The ropes, the damn ropes, man, they hurt. They really do hurt. But other than that, not much surprised me. I knew what I was in for. It's physical. It's tough. It's not easy. But you know, if you want it, it's there. Take it. Go.
You have great cardio.
I I, I try and keep myself in pretty good shape. That's something that I wish I would have started younger. I started a little late on my fitness journey, but I we get a few young kids in for training every now and then, which who are fantastic. Trent, Lightning,
Yeah,
Deshaun, holy, these kids are going to be remarkable. But when I see them get in there, I'm like, okay, you hit the ropes that way, I'm going to hit them this way. Let's cross. And as long as I can keep up a little bit, and these guys aren't blowing me out of the water, I feel good about it. It's but I need those guys to push me.
that's good.
Yeah, and get those like young legs and lungs in there to keep me going.
What's one thing people outside the business don't realize about what it takes to become a wrestler?
Probably just all the stuff that goes on behind it. There's so many rules and just different little things that you got to know to not step on anybody's toes. And it's a delicate learning process, and you're gonna mess it up a few times, but you just got to stay the course.
How physically demanding was it compared to what you expected going in?
It was as physically demanding as I expected. Like I said, I try and keep myself in pretty good shape. There's been a few training classes where I've thought, okay, I might need to puke in a bucket here. This is getting pretty intense, but for the most part, like I've been bag skated by some of the most intense hockey coaches you'll meet. Like this is something I was prepared for. I was ready for all of that.
What parts of the craft are you focusing on to improve right now?
I think I love tag team wrestling. I've got a good thing going with Beef right now, and I think mostly I want to work on tag team unity. I want to work on the chemistry that we have. I want to really master tag team wrestling.
I'd say take a look at Empire. and
Yeah,
the way they use their like body momentum, their partner's
yeah.
body as a weapon.
Empire's a great team. They
It's so good.
a lot of respect for those guys and absolute sweethearts every time I've met them. And yeah, I just want Street Beef to get in there with like I said, we got in there with a couple good teams the other day, but
Seeing you guys versus KVK and Dynasty sounds like a good $30 ticket match that
it,
I'd go see.
it was a lot of fun. And I again to if those guys catch wind of this, hey, thank you guys very much because we learned a lot and that's all we can ask. Just I hope we did well by you.
What do you feel is the biggest strength as a wrestler so far?
I think I'm very comfortable in front of crowds, and I think that comes from music. I think I've got no problem cutting a promo or walking out on a stage, or there's not a lot of nerves in that regard. I'm more nervous about what I have to do in the match than what the crowd's going to think. The crowd's going to be there and they're going to be great. I got to worry about me. So I think, I just being prepared and having that experience on stage was definitely a, a leg up.
What's an area you're working hardest to improve?
Oh, the little things, man. Those details, right? Every little in between move thing, all the extra time I should be taking, the timing in the ring, the positioning. There's so much to it that even I don't believe I could do this for 50 years and I'd still there's a lot to learn.
Oh yeah,
You
you're
know,
never done learning.
never done. So I think those are the things, just the details, getting you know
But your facial expressions and your selling is on point. So like I don't see a flaw.
well, thank you, but it's definitely something that I am actively conscious of. I gotta, you hear it all the time. If you think you're going too slow, go slower.
Yeah.
So it's just
Slow down and style holds.
that's it. It's just things like that, making sure you're in the moment, taking it in, and not moving too fast.
Why did you choose the signature moves that you're currently using, like the modified Russian leg sweep?
I just find there's so much of the same, and that's not a knock on anybody. There's just only so many moves out there, and it's like okay, there's variations of this, and what can I do to anybody? Again, that's the big thing, right? You want to be able to hit it on the smallest guy and the biggest guy, and I just thought it was a cool. I thought it was a cool sweep. I thought if I can make it work. The weirdest part is the setup because you kind of got to get yourself in a headlock. So it's like once once I figured out how to kind of twist into it, it just seemed like it worked. And I don't see a lot of guys using it, and it does set me up nicely to roll the guy. So or girl, if the case calls for it, Sybil, I got one for you if you need it.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna
know,
say I saw a match with you and her, and you kissed her, and
yeah.
you have no fear, eh?
No, I was a little afraid. I was afraid that Roy was going to be waiting for me when I got back there, but it worked out okay.
God, good for you.
I don't know if she's forgiven me for that one yet.
Who are some wrestlers you studied to improve your craft?
Oh man, I love watching teams like the Motor City Machine Guns. I love watching the Briscoes. Jay Briscoe, rest in peace, was I think the realest wrestler out there. Like
Yeah,
holy, you wouldn't want to mess with that guy if you saw him on the streets.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think teams like that, teams like the Steiners, teams like LOD, it's like you got to study the greats, right? These are the guys who did it at the highest level. Study them. They are they're up there for a reason.
Yeah.
Even teams like the New Day, like you know, they've perfected tag team wrestling. Learn from them.
What kind of wrestler are you hoping to become stylistically?
I think I'll always be a bit of a brawler. I Beef's trying to change that because one of us has got to do high flying moves. So I've had to do a few things that I'm like, oh man, I don't know.
So
But
you're gonna be like the next Mil Mascaras?
what man, I hit a senton off or a swanton off the second rope the other
Oh
day.
boy.
Yeah, that's a big move for Paradise coming off the second rope.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe I'll be a high flyer soon, but for now, I'd like to just stick to brawling. A lot of punching and kicking.
If you hit an axe handle, I'll be happy.
Oh well, we got something for you then. We got something for you.
Do you have a dream opponent someday?
I I love the Digglers. I would love to get a good Street Beef versus the Digglers program going.
Yeah.
I think, but again, there's so many great tag teams in Ontario. I just want to see that scene get good.
Hmm.
I think there's so many teams that are solid that the tag team division in Ontario should be featured on shows.
Yeah.
Like I think it could be carrying and headlining shows because there are so many teams out there right now that are doing it at a pretty high level.
Yeah.
And just guys like the Digglers, guys like Dynasty and KPK, guys like Empire. It's like, let's go, boys. Let's. There's enough of us. Let's do this. Let's take over the scene.
Yeah. It would be nice having a whole card, all tag teams.
Something like that, or even just to get an opportunity to headline a show.
Yeah.
Put the tag belts as the name. I bet you it'd tell well.
Who's your favorite person to work with without learning the ropes?
I don't know about my favorite, and I gotta shout this guy out, and he's gonna take the credit for it, and I don't want to give it to him. But Styling Brian Samuels and I have spent a lot of time in the ring together, and it's always good to get in there and roll around with him and learn. And I think he's the one I've been in there the most with, practice matches, stuff like that. Him and I think we're yet to have a really, really good one on a main stage, but one day we're going to get the opportunity and we'll go. So as much as I hate to admit it, Brian Samuels has been a great training partner when it comes to, you know, improving together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the stuff he does is great. Its character work's amazing.
Yeah.
His selling, it's great. I have no complaints about the man.
And nope, absolutely not. Sweetheart of a human too.
What's the funniest moment you've had in ring or in the school so far?
There's been a lot. There's always laughs at training. There's always, you know, whether someone does something great or does something terrible, it gets a reaction. There's uh funniest though. It's hard to say. I'll say just the car rides with Beef. As far as it may not be in ring, but that guy he's got me laughing for the whole car ride. So just spending time with him is it's been the funniest part of the wrestling experience so far.
What advice would you give someone thinking about stepping into a wrestling school?
Be ready. Come in shape. It will make it a lot easier for you if you are in shape. Um, it's not easy, but it is fun and it is rewarding. And if you stick to it, you will be rewarded for it. There's a lot of good schools. Research them, find out which one you want to go to, and stick with it.
If somebody wants to become a wrestler, what should they know before they get started?
Just know it's going to take time. It's not going to come overnight. It's going to be you know years and maybe months if you're lucky of training before your first match. But you're probably going to be training for a little while before you get out there. So don't think you're coming in and you're going to be going to the WWE in a month. It's probably not going to happen.
When do you feel you'll be ready and greenlit to officially start your in-ring journey?
Whenever Roy decides, I think I would be ready to accept it. I don't, I've got to work a few other places other than New Beginnings, and it's generally been positive feedback. So hopefully, sooner than later. You know, it's just about getting the time to get out to training, which isn't as easy for me because
Yeah.
wife works nights. I'm working all day, but I think it's coming hopefully pretty soon. And even if it's not an official thing, I think there's not a booking he would stop me from taking at this point. It's just about getting that, you know, all officially sorted out.
How has mental health impacted your life personally?
Mental health is something I've dealt with for as long as I can remember. Right, like I said I left Canada and moved to Atlanta when I was 13. So I was about to start high school. I didn't know a single person. I didn't know, you know, I didn't know a teacher. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody. So there was anxiety. There was stress, and you're 13 years old. Your hormones are raging. Depression. It's all in there. But you got to find your people, and you find your people down there, and they got me through the tough time, and then it's onwards until the next thing flares up. I've had a few friends that I've lost to suicide, and it weighs on me very heavily.
Yeah.
I wish there was more that I could have done, even though there probably wasn't. But seeing just the way the world is right now, and how tough everything is, I just think there's no way it hasn't affected it. Everybody's been affected at this point. Whether you think about it or not. There's stress, there's anxiety, it's a scary place right now. So I think just it's an everyday struggle, and it's whether it's something you're specifically diagnosed with or just a day by day occurrence. There's mental health. You're dealing with it every day,
Yeah.
like without question.
How important do you think mental health is in professional wrestling?
Very important. Uh, I've gone to shows. I've been at shows myself and not been in the greatest headspace. Where if you're not there, man, how can you be safe with another person if you're not even right in your own mind?
That's right.
So I think in wrestling it's very important that, especially if you're going into a match with somebody, you need to make sure that you are okay. And if that takes sitting down with someone a little bit beforehand and just making sure you can get yourself into the right headspace, that's take that time and make sure you do it, because it's a dance out there, right? So you want to be there and in the right space for your opponent.
How do you deal with self doubt during this stage of your journey?
Oh, it's always going to be there, right? You overanalyze every match, every move, everything. I felt like I had a match the other day where I got up a little bit funny. And it's like, oh, that's going to weigh on me. I should have stood up a different way. It's so easy to get in your own head. So I think the best way to deal with it is just take it match by match and try not to overthink it.
Mhm.
It's so easy to overthink and stay in your head. Just once it's done, move on, take the lessons, and it is what it is. Don't look back. Forward always.
Have there been moments where this process mentally challenged you more than physically?
For sure. I think most times it's more mental than physical for me. It's like I said, being nervous about remembering the match, letting the biggest thing that goes through my head is I don't want to let my opponent down. I don't. Yeah, I want to make sure I'm right there for him. Uh, so yeah, it's physically. I feel like whatever you need me to do, I can do. It's all the little things, the mental things, the in between. It's that's the tough part, making sure you're not letting letting your opponent down. That's the biggest thing for me.
What coping mechanisms do you use when things get stressful?
I've got a great family.
That's
I
good.
I have a wife who I absolutely love, and a child who is my best friend. So no matter how stressful things get, I get to go home. I don't care what goes on. I'm going home at the end of the day, and whether my wife's working or not, which she works nights, but I get my kid, I get my little best friend, and we're hanging out doing whatever. So nothing else matters.
You find wrestling helps your mental health in any way?
Absolutely. I think, again, just missing the crowd from music, and missing the physicality, and a yearning for those things, and getting them back with wrestling has helped me immensely. It's filled two giant holes in my life with one thing. It's brought me back to
Different,
kind of being me,
different
because
branch, same tree.
exactly. I didn't feel like myself when I wasn't performing for a few years, and now that I'm back to it, it's kind of given me an identity back almost.
What motivates you to keep going on these tough days?
The boys, you got to do it for the boys. Guys like I look up. Beef wants to do a tag match. What I'm going to do? Tell him no? Yeah, let's go, Beef. That's what keeps you going. You look up, you reach out to your friends, and you reach out to the support that you have, and they'll keep you going.
How do you balance the pressures of wrestling in everyday life?
Yeah, wrestling's wrestling. Everyday life is real. Wrestling isn't stressful. Life is stressful. Stress about life. Enjoy wrestling.
What message would you give to someone struggling with their mental health?
Talk to somebody. That's all. My God, so many people are afraid to reach out, and everybody says, "Oh, I'm here. Reach out." Take those outlets, because nobody knows what you're going through unless you speak it, and we're here to help. I promise you, there's enough people here to help. So if you're struggling, reach out. I don't care who. Just reach out to someone and tell them what you're going through. And I promise you, they're going to tell you they want you here. So do your thing. Reach out. Make sure that you're communicating.
And when they have their own hotline number now. I think it's 688.
Yeah, there's hotline numbers. It doesn't even need to be someone that you know. If you have to reach out, please, please, please. I do not want to be at another funeral because someone didn't reach out.
Yeah,
I we can fix anything.
yeah.
Anything can be fixed. So there's always a way out.
What's the most embarrassing song on your playlist?
I have no embarrassing songs on my playlist because I'm not embarrassed by anything.
Yeah,
Uh, I share a Spotify with a 5-year-old, so
yeah.
many times I'm under the bench and it's under the seat, and it's like, all right, I guess we're listening to Disney songs while I'm trying to get this couple 100 pounds up, but it's fine. It is what it is. It's great music production. I got no complaints. Like, just find the bass line and groove with it. It is what it is.
Dad life.
There's no music that's embarrassing. You can find a groove in anything.
What's your Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling?
I'll put the Headbangers right up there. 1, 2.
I'll give you them as one.
Okay, we'll go Headbangers. We'll go Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
A guy I haven't mentioned. 2 guys I haven't mentioned who are my top 2. We'll go Vader,
Yeah.
and we'll go Bruiser Brody.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love watching those 2 beat the piss out of guys.
Who are some of your favorite local indie wrestlers on the scene right now?
Oh, I mean, there's so many guys that are so good out there. Guys like Shane Saber are so good. Guys coming up like Matty Z. Like,
Yeah.
this guy's incredible. You see what he does. I'm like, the Digglers again. I love tag team wrestling. I think what they do is amazing. I think they're the coolest tag team out there. It, I'm afraid to miss guys, but you know I love my boy Hundo P. What can I say?
Yeah.
He's one of my guys too. Uh, there's a lot of guys really doing it well, and it's crazy to me that there's not more guys getting signed out of here.
Yeah.
But what can you do? There's a lot of talent out here.
They will. Like they had their eyes on Ethan Page, right?
Yeah,
So they have their eyes on the indies, I think.
I think so too, and I hope so, and they should, because like I said, and I'm not. No way am I putting myself in this class, but there are so many talented guys in Ontario that it's like I don't know why. I know a lot of shows do very well. I just think, like, man, Ontario doesn't know how lucky they are to have as many good wrestlers as they have in it.
That's right.
There's a lot of
Like
guys doing it a lot.
Tarek, Tyler Tirva, fucking
They are
anybody.
both TV ready guys who
Yeah.
can work however you want them to work. Like, you can't ask for much more out of wrestlers than those
Mhm.
guys, right?
If you could instantly steal one finishing move from any wrestler in history, who would it be?
Oh, I feel like I used Taz's choke,
Yeah.
and I'm not. I think that's what I'm going to continue to use, and I think Taz is a pretty territorial guy of his moves. So hopefully he doesn't see this and
Even
come actually choke me out. But
yeah.
but I think that's the one. That's the one I wanted. I wanted to just take his choke, and I took it.
Even Vern Gagne, the classic sleeper.
Yeah,
Like you can find if you can find somebody that'll sell like Giant Baba,
yeah,
it'll be fucking perfect.
yeah, absolutely.
If wrestling had entrance music for everyday life moments, what song would play when you walk into a room?
Party Hard by Andrew WK. Let's go.
There we go. If you could wrestle in any era of wrestling, which one would it be?
Probably like the 70s. I feel like they only bumped like one time a match. And a lot of that is a lot of holds, and then maybe you'd fall down once. So that seems like that would be pretty nice.
Yeah. I was just watching some 70s Japanese stuff,
Yeah.
and they bump a lot, but like they actually work a lot. Like, so they do the headlock takedown and
Yeah.
leg scissor, and then kip up, and then it's the classic bits.
Okay.
And they'll run the ropes, and then somebody will get a back body drop. And
Yeah.
it's just classic shit.
Yep. Yep. I like that.
When fans hear the name Chris Paradise, what do you want them to think of?
That I'm coming to whoop ass mostly. I think that's my character. Is I'm coming forward and I'm willing to fight you, and I'm willing to fight you dirty. So be ready for that.
That's right. Those forearms you lay in are fucking great.
I like to feel it. You know,
Yeah.
like it's it's gonna be in there.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, I don't know. Like I said, I'm 38. Hopefully, I'm still going. Who knows? I'd like to. Hopefully, Beef and I are still just teaming, helping out the younger kids. You know, I think, like I said, that we got a few young guys that I'd get more into training in a couple of years. It's his body's just getting older and older. So,
Where can people go to follow and support you along your journey?
oh, at Chris Paradise PW, I believe is the Instagram account, and then also Cheer for Street Beef is the other one, and that one we're hoping to get a little more active. We're hoping to get this team really going in 2026.
Okay, I need that one.
Yeah, we'll get to that one.
Add that one and start sharing shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, man. You've been a pleasure.
All right, man. Thank you very much, Roy. We really appreciate you, and I want to say thank you to you also for everything that you do. You're always supporting us. You're always sharing clips. You know, you're doing this, which I think is fantastic. What you do for the wrestling community should not be undersold. We really appreciate you. I know New Beginnings, especially, I can speak for them. We got a lot of time for you, man. We think a lot of you, and we really appreciate what you do for us. So,
Thank you.
Thank you, Rory.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Amen.
Hey, this is PWE superstar Cody Diener, the king of the schwa. You're listening to Wrestling with Mental Health. I want you to know it's important to take care of your mental health, but it's also important to support professional wrestling, independent professional wrestling, like Pro Wrestling Clips, like my buddy here has. So hey, keep listening, keep taking care of yourself, and keep loving professional wrestling.